Hey, Coach Oz here. Today I just want to have a little chat about motivation. Because certainly for everybody, motivation is completely individualized. You have obviously people that are intrinsically motivated, that just tend to kind of have internal drives in whatever aspects of life, work, like career endeavors, um, yes, health, but finances, relationships, all those things. And some people are certainly extrinsically motivated in terms of having either materials, to have something that they need that is not so-called built within. So, motivation, I want to just have a little blurb about kind of how to be motivated to start something. And obviously, in particular, in this case, with respects to kind of, changing your healthy lifestyle habits. And with motivation, most people have that kind of, or I should say, a majority of people that tend to kind of struggle with their own health tend to obviously have motivational issues. Whether it's great at the beginning and then there's a block, and then it just kind of maybe goes up and down, and then there's zero motivation, hence why people tend to stop doing what maybe they did X number of weeks prior to, regardless of if they've seen great results or not. But many people obviously look at, with respects to motivation, there's obviously key components there that really provide major challenges and major roadblocks to people. And new studies now with respects to psychology is that people procrastinate. People feel that it's the fear of the unknown, and that they may have a drive to kind of say, well, I need that change, but motivationally they just feel that they can't do it, or they can't sustain a lifestyle that may be different than what maybe you currently have. So, motivation, obviously, yes, plays a major role in not only beginning something, but obviously, certainly sustaining it as well. And like I said, new research actually from Psychology Today really shows how to really kind of combat motivation in terms of kind of beginning something to really establish motivation. Boils down to two so-called simplistic but yet very effective, basically science proven methods: is bringing back optimism and bringing back the enjoyment, so the fun level. So one, in terms of being optimistic, is staying positive. Staying positive from the beginning right through, regardless of kind of your ups and downs, your challenges, how life may twist, turn, work demands, life demands, all those things. Nutritionally, maybe you're stagnant on some of your so-called, body changes. Maybe you did great for the first little bit and things are obviously stagnating. That's completely normal. So staying positive in terms of your true of your abilities, staying positive in the moments of little small steps will really mean kind of large progresses certainly down the road. It may not be within a day or a week, but really kind of taking away that negative mindset, or at least negative approach that this is really difficult, this is really hard, I tried it before and it didn't really seem to work, so why should I try it again? I had a bad week. Maybe you traveled, or obviously coming off the summer, but in general, like maybe you fell off the wagon for 3 or 4 days, and maybe you didn't, weren't exercising as well. So again, it's that kind of vicious cycle of, oh man, because if there's negativity in the mind, it really shunts away kind of the big picture. And again, that really does limit and affect motivation. And then from the enjoyment side, this is what I say with a lot of my clients. Like, if there's obviously no level of enjoyment with any part of my program or any program that they do or you do, then obviously, how sustainable is that, right? You may be, like I said, gung-ho from the beginning, but if things are really kind of plain Jane or monotonous, or just really just not enjoyable, right? Prepping food, eating healthy food, exercising, if none of those things are enjoyable, obviously key strategies are how can we make things enjoyable. But there needs to be obviously a big, level of funness in terms of how your whole lifestyle and day shapes up to be. Not just maybe, 30 minutes of a workout, and not just, the 2 or 3 meals that you may eat. Like, look at obviously your entire day and how so-called your actions affect the big goal in mind, right, with respects to kind of changing or enhancing your healthy lifestyle. And if you kind of place more of an enjoyment on just the small daily actions or habits that you do, then I think, seeing the big picture, it just becomes a little bit more, you know what, I am making the change. I see that this, and this is kind of relating to what I'm kind of hopefully, will become or will get to. Because again, as anybody knows with my programs, it definitely is more lifestyle approached than just kind of X number of weeks, even though a program may be X number of weeks. Obviously, kind of how I try to coach people, or at least kind of instill a mindset, is kind of look at this as you're trying to make changes. Some people will make changes very quickly, others will make changes a lot longer, but still the end goal is to kind of hopefully make sustainable change, right? So just a couple of two things there that I just wanted to kind of bring about that I read recently, and I really thought that kind of was of interest, or at least, was intriguing, because they can obviously, enjoyment and positivity can always be overlooked, right, by me in terms of some things that I may do with my own health or with other aspects of my life. When you kind of try to really bring those two components down, and really value them, and try to really kind of, have them in a part of things that you do, then I think the big picture definitely becomes a little bit more, on top of mind. You stay a little bit more, like I said, kind of on point, on target to your so-called habits and actions towards that so-called end goal or prolonged goal of whatever that may be. But anyway, hopefully, like I said, just a couple key points that I wanted to bring up from the motivation side. If anything, from any type of, lifestyle, habits, mentality type questions, if you ever got, obviously you can kind of reach out to me. Would love to hear from you. But anywho, have a great Friday, and we'll talk soon.